Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms, and this is Charter Moms Chats. And today we're featuring the updated enrollment guide blog post for Legacy Traditional Schools Texas. And so to talk with us about Legacy Traditional Schools Texas, we have their superintendent. Her name is Sylvia Mitchell, PhD. So Dr. Mitchell, thank you for joining us to talk about Legacy. I'm really excited.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to engage in this wonderful conversation.
Okay, well, I want to remind everybody that if you go to the link in the description of the video, that'll take you to the enrollment guide. That's on our website, sachartermoms.com. Right now, it's on the top of the blog. But I like this format because we get to have a conversation about it and hear stories and kind of bring the mission and vision to life. So, Dr. Mitchell, can you tell me about, like, for folks who aren't familiar with Legacy yet, could you explain what's the mission and vision of Legacy Traditional Schools?
Sure. Thank you so much. So, our mission is to provide a comprehensive and rigorous education that instills in our students a strong foundation of academic excellence, character development, and leadership skills. And so we aim to prepare students to become successful, responsible, contributing members of society. Our vision is to cultivate a generation of students who are not only academically proficient, but also well-rounded individuals that demonstrate the core values of integrity, critical thinking, and compassion in every area of their life. And so here at Legacy Traditional Schools, we are striving every day to create a learning environment that fosters that growth and curiosity and really helps our scholars to be lifelong lovers of learning.
Well, that's great. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying, like the fundamental like mission and vision. So I was wondering, could you talk more about a big question in our group and on our page lately has been academic achievement. Like, how do we know that students are, learning the core subjects, that they're going to succeed when it comes to reading and writing and math and like those core subjects? So can you talk about like how Legacy Traditional Schools make sure that kids get a strong foundation in those core subjects?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Again, Legacy Traditional Schools here in Texas, we focus on providing a very rigorous curriculum. It emphasizes the mastery of core subjects like reading, language arts, math, science, social studies. And so what we do is we use data-driven instruction in our classrooms with our teachers to ensure that each student actually receives a personalized learning plan, personalized support, and intervention when needed. Some of our curriculum materials include high leverage instructional practices, standards-based assessments, and then we have a collaborative teaching model to support students in achieving academic growth. Moreover, as we are newer in Texas, we do have an excellent and profound reputation in our home state of Arizona, where there are multiple Legacy Traditional Schools. And so again, all of our schools collectively are built on our commitment to providing that very strong academic foundation. And for Texas, of course, ensuring that we are aligning all of our instruction to our standards, which are our TEKS, and making sure, as I said, in our vision, making sure that we are providing those spaces for students to be innovative, to be critical thinkers, and also to make sure that they achieve excellence.
Yeah, well, I appreciate. I feel like that's helpful because it clarifies like that the core subjects are really important, and I think that's it's like at SHR Moms, we're trying to like coach parents to like kind of know what questions to ask, and then they get a sense of like about each type of school. Like, okay, this sounds like the type of school that I'm interested in. So what I hope is that those parents who really value like excellence in those core subjects that they're perking up thinking, aha. And then you talk about things like data driven and standards based, and like those are really important. But I encourage, and we don't have time to like unpack all those right here because those are really important education concepts. But I just encourage like families who are soaking this in, like, go ahead, rewind, listen to that part, and then go on a school tour, right? And ask those questions, like if the school leader is there, or a representative from the school, and like dig in and find out what that means. Because I think there's a lot of families who are concerned that maybe their kids have fallen behind because of all the disruption that's happened in education. And, as parents, like, we want our kids to be college ready. We want them, right. Like, if they go through, well, I guess I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but like, so for legacy, like the model in Arizona is either K through 8 or pre-K through 8. Right. And
Right.
then, yeah. And then in Texas, it's unusual because of, bringing in some existing schools, right, which one of which already went through 12th grade. So there
Yes.
is K through 12, in legacy in Texas, but but the idea is to create that strong foundation. So, right, if students, you know, age out of a legacy campus at 8th grade and then they go on to another campus, they've got a strong foundation in those core subjects. Or if they stay, through 12th grade, we'll talk about the Bassey secondary, like, what's unique about that, right? Like career
Yes.
preparation
Hmm.
and things like that. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but
That's
I get
okay.
excited. And yeah, and like, I always have my parent hat on, which is like, I remember when I was going to open houses and school tours and info sessions and, asking these questions and trying to understand what these words mean. And I
Mhm.
hope that parents see this as like a jumping off point, and then they can go and ask and dig deeper and find out, like, what is data driven instruction? What is standards based
Absolutely.
instruction? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And at all of our campuses, our principals, our campus leaders, as well as the assistant principals, they love to engage with the parent community and with stakeholders. So at any given time, there's always a space to ask clarifying questions, to have meetings, to take tours, and to really see what distinguishes legacy traditional schools as a great educational option for families.
Yeah, yeah. When it's something I've observed about legacy is that it is a culture that respects, like, parents as the first educators of our children. And I feel like that's baked into the culture. So, and I know we'll talk
Yeah.
more about culture and stuff, but sorry, I get excited and jump ahead a little bit. Okay, so we talked about core subjects like reading, writing, and math, but the one thing I learned when I visited, I remember visiting Legacy Civil and seeing, like, whoa, this is the music classroom, like, this is amazing. And then, there's like some of the campuses have beautiful sports facilities and things
Mhm.
like that. So, like, what are those things, like, besides the core subjects, that really get students engaged?
Yeah, sure. So, one of the things I just like to share as I'm answering this particular question is that this is year 25 for me in education. This is my second superintendency in the state of Texas. I'm definitely a charter champion. And one of the things that attracted me to legacy traditional schools is not only the focus on excellence in academics, but also the inclusivity of fine arts and the sports, because sometimes within the charter world, there can be a laser focus on academics, and then sometimes there's not as much as of a focus on including fine arts and the physical education. So for us, for our legacy traditional campuses, I'm excited to share that we have the fine arts. And so we have art classrooms, art teachers, we have music classrooms that have pianos in it. And so our students are learning Mozart momentum. So they're learning about Mozart. They're learning to play the piano. They're developing their own musical pieces. There are performances every year, a big performance that our students get to put on. We also have physical education. So we have the sports. We have football. We have volleyball. We have basketball, and we do get to compete along with UIL. So that means we're competing against other schools. And so those pieces are very exciting. What we recognize at Legacy Traditional Schools is, again, we are cultivating the whole child. So that means a healthy balance of academics as well as the complement of those fun activities that students can really shine in and show their artistic self or their physical skill. And that's the fine arts and physical education.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a question that comes up a lot in the discussion group. Oh, it's actually, I'm gonna put this on screen to plug. We have
Mhm.
our group for parents and caregivers, grandparents, dads are welcome, but it's the charter moms discussion group. And it's a question that comes up a lot. And families will wonder, like, if I choose a charter school for my kid, am I depriving them of these opportunities to do arts?
Mhm.
But it really is something to see, like, at a giant classroom full of all these keyboards, and kids
Yes.
actually, yeah, like, I mean, what a great way to, like, bring the music theory to life, and then that could influence how
Yes.
they think about all kinds of different subjects.
Absolutely. And just to add, also, we do have a number of clubs. And so we have chess club, we have the science club, we have the art club. There's so many different extracurricular activities that literally every child can find a spot that they fit into, something that resonates with their ability and also their interest.
Yeah, those things are so important because then if kids, even if they have a day where they're having a hard day in math or having a hard day with penmanship or something like that, but then they know that they have that club, right? And then they
Right.
also the kind of friendships that they can form if they're in a club with kids who share some of the same interests that they do, and a sense of
Absolutely.
belonging. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things are really important. So, okay, great. The next question I wanted to ask, so I'm lucky because I have been able to visit some of the campuses, and I've had, guests on the videos. Like, there, you guys have a great set of school leaders at the
We
legacy
do.
campuses across San Antonio. So I was wondering, and this gives us a chance to unpack, like, what are these different campuses? What part of town are they in? So I was wondering, can you talk about, like, your school leaders, sort of the legacy team?
Sure, absolutely. So our Alamo Ranch campus is led by Principal Eddie Woods. And Principal Woods is an experienced leader. He led a school in Arizona as well under Legacy Traditional Schools. So he has several years of experience. He's known for his ability to create a nurturing and supportive environment where students feel safe and motivated to excel, and he has a great focus on building strong relationships with students, staff, stakeholders, and fostering a positive school culture. In fact, when I visit his campus and we walk the campus together, it's great to see how he interacts with students. He knows their names, he talks to teachers, and so there's a very positive school culture there. And then we have our Bassey campus, and we have Bassey Primary, which is the elementary side, pre-K through fifth grade. And then we have Bassey Secondary, which is our junior high slash high school. So for the Bassey Primary on the elementary side, we have Principal Molly Stampo, and she also is a nurturing leader. She loves to create a warm and supportive environment for students. She has strong expertise in school operations. And so she also is one that has previously served at the Legacy Traditional Schools in Arizona. And so she brings that extensive experience here to our Bassey primary campus here in Texas. And then we have Bassey Secondary, which is led by Principal Deborah Rice. And she is recognized for her organizational skills, her ability to think strategically and focus on academic growth and leadership development among students and staff. And Principal Rice is a Texan right here in Texas. She's had multiple years in various leadership capacities, serving as a leader in Texas districts and schools. And then finally, we have our Cibolo campus, and that is led by Principal Christopher Turner. And Principal Turner is also an experienced principal, many years of leadership. He led Legacy Traditional Schools in Arizona and then brought that extensive knowledge here to Texas. He has a strong focus on community engagement. He's known for fostering lots of inclusive, collaborative, fun events and a collaborative school environment. And he is really actively focused and encourages parent involvement. And he's dedicated to developing strong ties between the school and the local community. And I'm sure we will talk about this, but one thing that's fun about the Cibolo campus is that Principal Turner does all kinds of sticky events. And so those are community parent engagement events that are also a lot of fun.
Well, Dr. Mitchell, thank you. That's a great overview. That gives a sense of, like, what the different campuses are, and like you said, the Bassey campus is the one that goes all the way up to 12th grade, right?
Yes.
And and you've got campuses in different parts of town, right? So the Alamo
Yes, we
Ranch
do.
campus is way out on the far west side, right? Bassey it's I like to say it's kind of near North Star Mall. It's kind of like inside Loop 410, but a little bit
I
north of
see.
downtown. And then the Cibolo campus is right. It's like not in the city of San Antonio, it's in Cibolo, but that's kind of on the northeast side of
Right.
the San Antonio
Yes.
region, right? Yeah, and I know. Okay, so the Alma Ridge campus and the Cibolo campus, I remember going to the groundbreaking. So those are new build campuses, but the one
They
on
are.
Bassey, that campus has had a lot of upgrades over the
Mhm.
last few years. So I was wondering, can you kind of paint a picture of? And I encourage people like go on campus visits and like see for
Yes.
yourself. But like I know part of the culture of legacy is to like gather around the flagpole, right? But you have to have an open space, like a
Mhm.
place, or like having morning assemblies where you can give recognitions and things like that.
Yeah.
So the space has to fit the culture because there's all these
Mhm.
customs that are part of legacy.
Absolutely. So, as you shared, the Cibolo and Alamo Ranch campuses, which are pre-K 3 to eighth grade, those are our newer build campuses. And so their building looks a little bit different than our Bassey campus. Our Bassey campus is kind of our flagship campus, very, very open space. And we have a courtyard right in the middle that kind of separates the elementary side from the junior high, secondary side. And then just a tradition that is very unique for legacy traditional schools is that every morning we always start out with our flag program. And so we do our commitment to the flag and also to the state flag, and then we celebrate birthdays and we kind of give a thought for the day. And so it's really fun at the Bassey campus to be able to come into the center, kind of that courtyard, and see all the scholars lined up by grade level and see them cheering and kind of celebrating birthdays, celebrating achievement. And then also when they're doing their moment of silence, and then they're also saluting the flag. And then also the Texas flag. It's very unique. And all of our campuses do the flag ceremony, but I highlight the Bassey campus because it is our flagship campus, and there's such a big open space between the primary and secondary, and that's where we see students gathered, which is really neat.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think so well. Um, One of the differences between charter schools versus like a traditional public school, like a neighborhood school, is that in the neighborhood school, most of the families are, they live in a small geographic area. Whereas for a
Right.
charter school, the enrollment area is huge, right? I mean, it's like
Mhm.
multiple counties. So it's basically if you can get the kids there, that's but and then it takes more of a conscious effort, like you were describing the school leaders and how like they learn the kids names,
Mhm.
and they really focus on community engagement and partnering with organizations in the neighborhood, and
Right.
how important that is to create a sense of like, hey, we are legacy, we are this campus. And
Yes.
I can the flag ceremony is so important because it brings everyone together. There's a common ritual, there's recognitions, and it's something everyone experiences together repeatedly. So it becomes a normal thing.
Yes, it's our morning flag ceremony, and we participating in pledging allegiance, recognizing achievements, starting the day on a positive note. It really reinforces like patriotism, community. We reinforce our core values, and so it's just a great tradition that really kind of sets us apart from even other charters because we really come together as a school, and the kids are so motivated. Even at Alamo Ranch in Cibolo, they have their flag ceremonies outside, and then they put the middle school students in their gymnasium. And still, just to see the excitement, the cheers, and then the seriousness around the Pledge of Allegiance, it's just a great sight to see as we're also helping them to build citizenship.
Yeah. Well, are there more examples of kind of traditions or
Sure.
ceremonies, or yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we also have several spirit days that we do throughout the year. And with those spirit days, they typically are attached to some type of school achievement or some type of holiday. And the students get really pumped up. There's an opportunity for them to engage in pep rallies and for them to really have a space to give their particular, grade level cheer, their campus cheer. And so that's a tradition. The spirit days are a lot of fun. Students wear their spirit shirts and they are all the way in. Also, every year, of course, our leaders have a theme that they're using throughout the school. And so that's another tradition as well. And I invite you all to check out our website, and you will see, the different campuses, you'll see the themes, but then also come and visit, for the tours. And then the other thing I just like to highlight is with all of these pep rallies, assemblies, flag ceremonies, we also always have a portion in there that is student led. And so we are helping students to find their voice, to articulate clearly. And so, the principal, the assistant principal, they will get the ceremony started, and then we quickly pass it over to our students. And so those are some of the fun traditions that we have with Legacy Traditional Schools, which are exciting to see. And of course, we have, as I said, our sports. And so this is a season of football, volleyball, and then also we have our fine arts. And so we have a tradition of a big production, a performance that happens where we invite not only parents, but invite the community at each campus. And that's also very exciting.
Yeah, no, that's so important. Just last night, I was talking with other, people who love school choice, people who love charter schools, and we were talking about like how do we make sure that the community knows the charter schools are here, know what they're doing, know what their culture is about, and how
Right.
important it is to do, just like you said, like invite the community in as well.
Mhm.
So it's not mysterious what's happening behind these doors. They can see like these kids they're not different kids, they're just regular kids, but they're being presented with a greater opportunity to dig deeper into these core subjects and explore
Right.
arts and sports. And
Mhm.
it's trying to show people what's possible in education with
Yes,
with new ideas and high expectations for and that the idea that every kid, it's a free public school, so every kid can achieve at this level.
absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, are there any more like these stories or observations? I know
Yeah.
you're relatively new as part of Legacy, but I'm sure you jumped in and have gotten to know each of the campuses
Yes.
in the San Antonio area.
Absolutely. So I'd love to just share that also our principals. We are a district that believes in parent volunteer organizations. So those are PVOs. And so with the parent volunteer organization, we are collaborating with our parents to plan different events for the school, collaborating and empowering our parents to serve as volunteers so that they have an active voice into what's going on in the school. That does not require a annual fee. We don't require our parents to pay an annual dues amount to be able to be at the table to help make decisions about what happens in our schools. And so, with our parent volunteer organizations, it's really fun because they help us to put on our fall festivals at each campus. They help us with what we call sticky events. And so these sticky events are events that occur at the campus level where we invite the community, we invite parents, students. They're always after the school day is over, and it's fun, engaging ways for us to really get to know, our stakeholders in our community at large. And so, one just fun memory I will share: just my first week as superintendent of schools with Legacy Traditional Schools, I was at the Cibolo campus, and they were going to have the food truck night. And this was on a Friday night. And I was like, what is this? And they said, this is a sticky event. And so I said, I'm going to definitely stay around. And I stayed. And what was fun is we tried to highlight the smaller businesses in the community. So you had all of these small businesses and food trucks that were there at the school. There were lots of parents there with all of their children that were too young to start, at Legacy, and then children that already had graduated. And they were sitting there kind of in their little courtyard area, eating food, playing games. There are games out there like the horseshoe game. There's something with like water bottles. So it was like a fun family event. And so I had a great time, like taking pictures with students, talking to what I call the littles, the 3 and the 4 and the 5-year olds. And so that was a great event. And that's something that continues every campus. Every month, they have at least one sticky event, and it's just really fun. And it helps us to stay connected to the community. And then also with our parent volunteer organizations, there are monthly meetings, and that provides an opportunity for parents to have kind of a prime time with the principal, to have that up close, intimate conversation with the principal, ask questions, make suggestions, gain clarity, and just really serve as a wonderful thought partner and stakeholder as we're collaboratively elevating student outcomes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, this is music to my ears. This is what school communities need, and I want more people in the community to know that charter schools have these things too. That like you're not necessarily prioritizing academic achievement above everything else. That you can have the academic achievement and you can
Right.
have a sense of school community. You can have the arts and the extracurriculars and sports. You
Mhm.
can have this dialogue and you know, I'm sure everyone I've encountered in the legacy organization is fully aware that it is a school of choice, that all the families are there because they
Yes.
chose to be at legacy. And so it's placing respect and a priority on the role of the parents and caregivers, and that level of trust. And then also like several things you've touched on. I feel like the like tradition,
Mhm.
legacy traditional. It's like it's woven in, like things like flag ceremonies and patriotism, right? And
Yes,
weaving
absolutely.
in the core subjects, that's what's going to unlock opportunity for the students down the
Mhm.
road, right? It's that's how you create um, potential. That's how you help students realize their potential, is that if they have strength in those core subjects, then they
Yeah.
can take that and study anything. They can STEM or whatever field that they want to go into.
Mhm.
They've got that good foundation.
And just highlighting, their wonderful attributes and skills, because we have students that are great at different things, and so there are multiple types of academic intelligence, and so being able to hone in on that and then provide opportunities for them to excel in those areas. We also have the gifted program, which is great because I know sometimes there is a misconception maybe that charter schools don't offer the gifted program, but with legacy traditional schools we do. We offer the gifted program, and so that's something also that complements the high academic rigor and achievement that we have across our entire network of schools.
Yeah, yeah, and you want the schools to be accessible, right? So I think Legacy is one of there's not that many charter networks in San Antonio that offer transportation, but
Right.
like Legacy is one of those. So that's
Yes.
another question that comes up a lot in the group. It's like, okay, I got to move my kid to a different school, but I don't have time to drive them. How does this work? So
Yes, we do
yeah,
offer transportation, especially for our BASI campuses, the primary and secondary. And so, again, I invite families and parents to, engage with us and give us an opportunity to serve your family and to work with your children.
yeah, yeah. No, and folks, I mean, I can't. I mean, there's some pictures in the blog post, but I really encourage families to go visit a campus because the facilities are, I mean, just like the transformation at Bassi is remarkable.
Yes,
But and then the brand new campuses or almost new campuses at Elma Ranch and Cibolo, and the campuses have like so much like, stateliness and dignity, right? It's
yes.
like, oh, this is what
Mhm.
a school should look like, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. We want to provide the very best to our families. And I know for myself, I can say definitely, I am a mother and I'm also a grandmother. And so I always have said, even when I was a classroom teacher, that I would never work at a school where I would not bring my own children. And so I feel that same way even today, even as I think about my grandchildren, wanting to make sure that I am leading our schools to a place of excellence where I too would feel comfortable bringing my grandchildren. And so I love how we have revamped our facilities here at the Bassi campus and the improvements that continue. And certainly, I love, the stateliness of our new buildings at Cibolo and Alamo Ranch.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we've covered so much stuff, but like you said, we want families to do more research on their own, right? So they can
Yes.
get their questions answered. But what are some good ways? And you mentioned the website, but what are some good ways that families can learn more about legacy and get connected?
Absolutely. So you can definitely schedule a tour at any of our campuses. It's just a matter of calling and saying that you'd like to schedule a tour or showing up and saying you'd like a tour of the campus. and we will certainly give you a tour and talk to you about the legacy experience and the environment firsthand. You'll be able to see it in action, see it, hear it, experience it. And then also, you're welcome to attend one of our events. We have sticky events, we have informational sessions. All of those are on the website by campus. The sticky events are so much fun. I mean, you could really have some fun things. Most recently, we had a bingo night with our families. And so go to our website, look at the different activities, call us, tour with us, give us an opportunity to share with you our story and share with you why Legacy Traditional Schools is the right place for you to develop a legacy of learning and leadership with your students. We are so excited and we feel great about the opportunity to be able to serve you.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's great advice. Okay, so visiting the website, calling a campus, scheduling a
Yes,
tour, looking at each campus website to find out when those events are happening, and those
yes,
are, like you said, they're
absolutely.
open to the public, and a great way to ask, ask questions, get the questions um, answered, and and I should mention that. So this is a great time to do research, but about a month from now is when open enrollment will start,
Yes,
right? So
absolutely. And again, open enrollment, it's on the website. We want you to please engage with us. And then, of course, we have an open enrollment guide that's on the Charter Mom's website. And we thank you so much for sharing that resource. And then also, I just want to share with you, we are on social media. So you can definitely follow us on Facebook, Legacy Traditional Schools. There on social media, you'll also be able to see pictures of some of the wonderful events that continue to take place every day. But yes, open enrollment is coming up. We would love to be able to serve you. And we are one of the unique charters that starts with pre K 3. And so we would love for you to start with us and trust us all the way through 12th grade. As I said, we'd love to be your partner as we're elevating outcomes for scholars and really helping to develop well-rounded citizens that one day are going to lead our world to a greater place.
yeah, yeah. Well, Dr. Mitchell, thank you so much. Like you've covered like so many different areas about legacy, and I really appreciate the stories you shared that about like the flag ceremonies and all the activities that kids get to do, the sticky events. I'm really thankful that Legacy Traditional Schools has a presence in Texas, and I really encourage families to visit and get in touch and learn more about it.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the opportunity to engage with you. And as I said before, here at Legacy Traditional Schools Texas, we are looking forward to welcoming you and would be happy to engage with you as we talk about you bringing your scholars to us so that we can serve you in that way.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Mitchell. Have a great evening.
You too. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.